Welcome to the Alcohol Addiction Podcast. I think I'm going to call this episode 141A. I'm going to do that because I'm in a little bit of a mess, to be honest. I'm in Bali at the moment. I came here via South Korea and Japan as part of my Asian trip to try to find somewhere cheap, warm, and safe to live, right? And, when you think about Bali, you think about an idyllic, beautiful, luxury, tropical place, right? Hasn't quite turned out like that. We have been here less than a week, and this morning I was woken up with my fourth aftershock. And these are all from the Lombok earthquakes, which is the island which is next to Bali. Knowing that there is an earthquake in Lombok and flying into Bali is a completely different thing than being in Bali, experiencing what an aftershock feels like, and then realizing in that moment, whoa, I cannot take care of my family. I cannot keep my wife safe. I cannot keep my 2-year-old daughter safe. And worse than that, we cannot be apart. Like, I'm in Bali, not on holiday. I'm in Bali because it's on my bucket list. It's on Liza's bucket list. And we was in this neck of the woods, so we thought we'd come over here. But I don't have time for vacation. I have to work every day. And if I'm working 12 hours while I'm in Bali on my laptop, Liza and Zia have to be very, very close to me at the moment, because if they're in Ubud, for example, and I'm in Sanur Beach, which I'm at the moment, and we have an earthquake, we wouldn't be apart. So unfortunately, we're cutting our trip short in Bali, and I'm actually going to fly to Barcelona tomorrow and stay in Barcelona until September the 1st, doing a bit of work at a poker tournament there at the Casino Barcelona, and then we'll be returning back to the UK. It is a shame. It's a beautiful place here. I'm looking, straight ahead of me is a beautiful private pool. This place we're staying in is really beautiful. Could actually live here. Worked it out, it's about £1,200 a month rent for this beautiful apartment that we're staying in. And I was paying £1,000 a month rent in Cardiff. So if it wasn't for the fact that there are earthquakes going on and killer mosquitoes running around trying to give me dengue fever, such a shame. But there you are. I think I've realized throughout my travels through Asia that I really am a bit of a city man. I love Tokyo, by the way. Absolutely love Tokyo, and could live in Tokyo if it didn't have earthquakes, tsunamis, and whatever else Japan suffers from. But anyway, it does mean that you become very grateful about the UK. I mean, so many people who are British, we all whinge and we moan about living in the UK, about the politics and about Brexit and about the cold, rain and wind. But hey, we don't get killer mosquitoes. The worst thing we're going to do is get bitten by an adder. We don't get spiders going to crawl up our bum while we're taking a poo. We don't get lizards sneaking into our house. The worst we're going to get is a woodlouse. We don't have cyclones, hurricanes, earthquakes, nothing like that. Okay, so I actually feel really grateful that I live in the UK. So there you are. The trip to Asia ends today, fly to Barcelona, and that's why I've been a little bit all over the place, and I've not been able to get a real solid structure of podcasts out. This is why we've got episode 141A and not episode 142 or whatever. Anyway, so I want to start by saying a huge congratulations and well done to Susanna. Susanna is a Truth About Alcohol moderator, and she recently celebrated her 1-year sober-versary. Susanna, I always think of Susanna as an outlier, okay? Because if you look at the statistics behind the Truth About Alcohol life-changing experience, it's quite evident that to put the odds in your favor that you're going to go through that experience and end as someone who takes the vow never to drink alcohol again, then the best way to do that is by doing your homework every day, keeping up with your moderator and keeping up with the group, and crossing the finishing line holding hands with several of your peers. That is the way forward. It's quite clear. But Susanna never did that. She fell behind in her group very, very early doors, and she really took her time to take the training, the course experience. I think, back in the day, then we were just letting people do it as take as long as they like. It's a 3-month experience back then. I think it took her 5 or 6 months. But at the end of it, she kind of like got over the. She didn't even crawl. She didn't even crawl over the finishing line. She crossed the finishing line full of the joys of spring, taking a vow that she was never going to drink again. And 1 year later, she's proved that you can actually go through that experience at a more snail-like sedentary pace, and still the philosophical teachings that we're trying to ram into people's brains do sink in. And she did it, and she became a moderator. She's had experience with the Feeling Good Institute, doing some cognitive behavioral therapy training, and she's currently shadowing Laurie in Truth About Alcohol Life Change Experience Group 8. And those folks are doing really, really well. Shout out to Tone, Teresa, Serena, and Lottie, who are doing that experience at the moment, doing really well. So well done, Susanna. You're a beautiful person. Well done. And I want to say another well done to Laurie. Laurie is another Truth About Alcohol moderator. You would have heard her on a previous episode of the podcast. I think that was episode 135. Laurie just recently celebrated 1 year as a striver. So she has actually been on Strive Community Forum for a whole year. That is wonderful. I always remember when Laurie first came, I thought, wow, this person's going to be a lot of hard work for sure. She had a lot of problems, but she's worked through them all, and she's now just about to embark on a new job. She is moderating Group 7, and she's one of these truly gifted empaths, okay? I envy her ability to really be there for someone and be really present for someone in the written form, okay? And I imagine she'll be exactly the same in the physical form as well, one-on-one. So well done, Laurie, for spending a year in my company at Strive. I really appreciate you sticking around and making a difference here. And finally, happy anniversary to Holly, known as Surfer Chick, another Truth About Alcohol moderator. She celebrated her 1 year wedding anniversary this week or last week or whatever. So big kiss and thank you to Holly and everything she does at Strive Community Forum. Welcome to Kel and Glynis, who have just joined the Strive movement and introduced themselves and are about to start doing some work on the Strive movement. And a big well done to Linda and Glynis and Kendra, who will begin the latest Truth About Alcohol experience on Sunday, which is Sunday the 26th of August. So that's Linda, Kendra, and Glynis. They're going to be doing that experience. That means there are 2 spaces left because we like to run a group of 5. Nikki will be running that group, and Anna will be shadowing that group as a Truth About Alcohol moderator. So if you want to join Linda, Kendra, Glynis, Nikki, and Anna on Sunday, the 26th of August, then please email me direct at leedavypoker@gmail.com. That's LeeDavyPoker@gmail.com. LeeDavyPoker@gmail.com, and say, Lee, send me a link. I want to join the Truth About Alcohol life-changing experience on Sunday. It will change your life. That's why we call it the life-changing experience. Okay, that's enough on the intro. This is going to be a little bit of story time, a little bit of nursery time magic. Okay, so the other night I'm reading stories to my 2-year-old daughter, Zia. She loves stories, right? So I'm reading her a little pig story. So I say to her, there's 3 little pigs. One decides to build a house out of straw. One decides to build it out of sticks. The other decides to build it out of stone. And one day the big bad wolf comes to the house made of straw and says, little pig, let me in. And the little pig says, not by the hairs of my chinny chin chin. Well, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow the house down, said the wolf. So he huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down and ate up the little piggy. Next, the big bad wolf goes over the house made of sticks and says the same thing. Little pig, let me in. And the little pig says, not by the hairs of my chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down, says the wolf, big bad wolf. And he did. He huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down. Sticks went everywhere and he ate up the little pig. The wolf was still hungry by the time he got to the 3rd house, which was made of bricks. He knocked on the door and he says to the pig, little pig, let me in. And the little pig says, not by the hairs of my chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down, says the big bad wolf. So he huffs and he puffs and he huffs and he puffs and he huffs and he puffs, but he cannot blow the house down. So what does the wolf do? He fucks off. He thinks to himself, I can't get at this little pig, so I'm going to go and find some other little pigs who live in straw houses and live in stick houses, and I'm going to blow those down and I'm going to eat them up. I'm not wasting any more time with this very smart pig, because he's obviously a very intelligent little porky. And off the big bad wolf went, and the story has a happy ending because our final pig is allowed to have his life. Okay. Now, if you think about that little fairy tale, and every single one of you listening to this would have heard it before, a lot of you are probably thinking, why is he even telling us this? I don't know. Maybe you like telling fairy tales to people, or maybe I just need to fill up some of the time here because this is a very, very simple message. Either way, you've just received it, so there you are. Okay, so why am I saying this? Well, if you think about it, you can use this Three Little Pigs story as a metaphor around alcohol, right? There are a lot of people in the world who decide that they want to quit drinking alcohol. Invariably, the first thing that happens is you wake up with an hangover and you say to yourself, I'm never fucking drinking again. Hands up how many people have said that, right? Or a New Year's resolution where you say, do you know what, I'm done. I'm not drinking anymore, okay? Now, the people who do that and say those things and then white knuckle their way through, those are the people who are building their houses, their protection against alcohol. And in this instance, alcohol is the big bad wolf. The people who are building a protection around themselves and creating a plan to be someone who doesn't drink alcohol are actually living in a house of straw, okay? They're not really doing anything other than saying, I'm going to quit. They're hoping that their willpower is going to get them through. And sooner or later, the big bad wolf, aka alcohol, is going to come along, going to blow your fucking house down, and it's going to eat you up. And you're going to be drinking as quick as you said, I'm not going to drink, right? You won't last long at all. If you do last, you'll think that life is utterly miserable and eternally miserable because you can't have your drink of alcohol. And eventually that misery will lead to you drinking. And again, your straw house will go down, okay? Now, there are some people who will come to the Strive Community Forum maybe. They'll mill around for a little bit and then they'll bugger off because they think, what's the point of this? This is a load of bullshit. There's a lot of namby-pamby people on there saying, well done, all this kind of gooey stuff that I don't like. They might read Alan Carr's book, Easy Way to Control Alcohol, but it doesn't really sink in. They might read something like William Porter's Alcohol Explained, and a light bulb might go on, but they don't really do anything more about it. Or they may say, I'm going to take the 1 year no beer 30-day challenge, something like that. So they're doing a little bit more than the person who just says, I'm going to take the vow and I'm just going to white knuckle it. Sorry. They're doing a little bit more than the straw house piggy, but they're not really doing a tremendous amount. They've got like 1 foot in the I want to be someone who doesn't drink alcohol camp, okay? They still have a very, very, very strong pull to wanting to drink alcohol. Outcome resistance, as I call it, is very, very strong because they still see the value in drinking alcohol, okay? Now, these people, these are the ones living in a house made of sticks. It's a little bit stronger than the straw house, but eventually the big bad wolf's going to come along, which is alcoholism in this case, going to blow down your house because you still have not built strong enough foundations around your sobriety plan in order for you to be someone who doesn't drink alcohol. You are not committed. You haven't taken the vow. You're not all in, as they say in poker parlance, all right? Then you have the person who has built the house made out of pigs, okay? Pigs out of bricks. Sorry, lost that one a little bit. Now, these are the people like Laurie. I just said to you, didn't I? Laurie has been on Strive for 1 whole year. 1 whole year. Not only has she been on Strive for a whole year, she's actually, while she's been on Strive for a whole year, been very, very present and active in all of the different forum threads for the entirety of that year. She is a regular listener to the Alcohol Addiction podcast. She's a regular listener to, or she was until it folded, a hip sobriety podcast. I'm pretty sure she listens to This Naked Mind podcast. She's read Alan Carr's Easy Way to Control Alcohol. She's read This Naked Mind by Annie Grace. She has taken the truth about alcohol life-changing experience. She is a member of the Radical Honesty Experience. She joined the Alcohol Monologues. She is now, in fact, a Truth About Alcohol moderator, where she's actually learning to impart all her knowledge and wisdom as someone who doesn't drink alcohol to other people. And her sobriety date, I don't know what it is, but it's there. I think she's drunk maybe once in like 18 months or something. Like it is phenomenal what she's done, okay? She has done a tremendous amount of hard work building up this real solid foundation of bricks. And if the big bad wolf comes and tries to knock Laurie's house down, then there's no fucking way it's getting in. Okay, there's no way it's getting in. Okay, Susanna, same thing. Holly, same thing. Nikki, same thing. Right, and maybe Anna, same thing. I kind of might be missing people out here. Okay, the important thing that I'm trying to get across here to you folks is if you want to be someone who doesn't drink alcohol, then you're in the right place. If you want to be someone who doesn't drink alcohol occasionally, you're not in the right place. This is the place. The Truth About Alcohol and the Strive movement is the place where we build houses made out of bricks. There is no room or time here for houses made out of straw or houses made out of sticks. We don't stock straw and sticks in our armory. It's only bricks and cement, okay? So what are those bricks? What is that cement again? Please, please, please join the Strive movement, but don't just join. Be a fully fledged member. Check in on a daily basis for 30 days and then send me a note and say you've done 30 days straight and I will give you a gift. Check in, help other people on a daily basis, be vulnerable and get used to sharing with people. Join the Radical Honesty Experience. It's only 20 quid. It's nothing in terms of money, and you will answer one question a day, which will eventually build this solid muscle of yours of internally questioning why you make decisions that you do and getting used to your vulnerability and getting used to feeling shame and being okay with that, okay? Join the Radical Honesty Experience. Listen to the Alcohol Addiction Podcast. This is what we're doing right now. Listen to the Alcohol Addiction Podcast. Join the Truth About Alcohol life-changing experience, okay? It is £400. I know it's a lot of money. I'm not an idiot, okay? I know it's a lot of money. However, £400 spread over a year, for example, is not a lot of money, is it? £400 when you consider how much money you're spending on alcohol or you're losing as a direct result of alcoholism, £400 is not a lot of money. And do not let money be the reason why you don't take this experience, because I won't let it. We will come to some financial agreement whereby you can pay up and you'll be able to take the experience, right? But the Truth About Alcohol life-changing experience is the cement that holds all of these bricks in together, all right? And we will be running on Sunday, August the 26th, our 8th edition of the Truth About Alcohol life-changing experience, and we have 2 spots available. Please email me at leedavypoker@gmail.com to take one of those posts. If you're listening to this beyond the 26th, don't worry, still email me. If you're missing by 1 week, 2 weeks, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. We'll be able to take that into consideration. You'll be working in a group of 5 people. Linda, Kendra, and Glynis are 3 of them. Please be the other 2. Nikki will moderate. She first came to Strive as someone who was drinking alcohol. Now she doesn't, and she has gone through that experience, okay? And Anna will be shadowing her, same story, all right? And if you go through the Truth About Alcohol life-changing experience and you want to give back and we think you're a good fit for our movement, okay, then you too could be a Truth About Alcohol moderator and get paid to serve other people and help other people learn the truth about alcohol. So there you are, 3 little piggies. Nursery rhymes. They all have some life tale to tell, don't they? I am Lee Davey. I'm not an alcoholic. I refuse to be anonymous. I am someone who doesn't drink alcohol, and I spend every waking moment of my life, including in the middle of an earthquake, helping other people do the same. Until next time, take care, everybody.